Intellitron is a brand new line of items. It's going to be a very robust and very large number of items from Gigaparts. They are commonly used items made for the budget ham radio operator in mind. We're going to take a look at a few of them today. Huge shout out to Gigaparts. They sent me a box of these things. I'm going to show these to you here in a second. But always remember, you can save a 5% discount on everything Intellitron with the coupon code of KC5HWB. They're being added to my page, my 5% off page that is on the Gigaparts website. Link to that will be in the description below. When I was at their grand opening in March of 2024, they told me they had 60 new SKUs, so new items basically, to add to their Intellitron line. Those are not on the website at the time of this recording, but you can rest assured that you're going to see more and more videos about the Intellitron products from Gigaparts as time goes on. So if I pull up their website here, you can see right here that they have, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 20 or 30 items in the stockpile right now. We've got SWR and power meters. We've got the Nixie clock. That's always fun. We've got some lightning arrestors. This stainless steel whip is pretty cool. I've got that. We've got a dummy load, a speaker, and a few other things. So just remember it, like if I go over here to my page, here's my page on the Gigaparts website here, and since they were added last after all this other stuff, they're going to be on the back of the last page. So there you go right there. There's all the Intellitron stuff on my page where you can save a 5% discount with the coupon code of KC5HWB. So let's take some stuff out of the box here. They sent me a whole box of this stuff, and I just wanted to take the time to show it to you guys. So that's always pretty cool right there. Ham radio clocks. This is a 24-hour clock right here. You can see 12 o'clock is down here at the bottom. 24 is up at the top. It's got the numbers 15, 20, 25 minutes after the hour. It says made in China right there. I think I'd probably put one of my Ham Radio 2.0 stickers over that, but you know. Here's another clock, extra large digital LED clock. These are cool. So if you've got different areas where to hang a clock in your shack or your home, then this one will tell you the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday through there on the side, all the way through Sunday. The temperature outside, that right there is, I'm not sure what that is. Oh, month and day. Okay, MD. I'm thinking minute and what is it? What's D? I was like, oh, month and day. So July 27th there, obviously. That's the time. That's the temperature outside. Lots of cool stuff on that clock there. This is cool because these are very similar to the MFJ speaker that I have probably 5 of those MFJ speakers in my truck for the various radios in my truck. So this one I'm looking very forward to using. I'm going to mount this in my truck and see if there's any difference between it and the 4 or 5 MFJ speakers I have in truck. But these are some of the greatest mobile assuming that this is like the MFJ. I'll put it that way, preface this, because I haven't hooked this up yet. The MFJ speakers are some of the greatest mobile speakers out there because they sound like the bigger Motorola speakers, but they're smaller, but they don't sound as cruddy as those big mouth speakers, those little big mouth speakers that you buy at truck stops. Those sound like crap. They don't have any lower end on them at all. They're all treble and no bass, and they just kind of sound like crud. These sound really good. Here is the WM1000D digital SWR and power meter. It looks like that. That's very similar to the MFJ meter that I have in so many of my videos where I'm doing power tests on HTs and mobile radios. This is another one here, 1010D, 1010D. This is the 1001D, the 1010D. I mean, they look the same on the outside. Well, they look the same on the outside. Both of them do HF, 1.6 to 60 megahertz, and then 125 to 525 megahertz. Frequency range on both of those is the same, both with a 2-year warranty. The screens look the same on them. I can't tell what the difference is on that. I don't have any idea. I guess I could open them. Front. So there's the back of the 1001. Looks the same to me. Okay, this one has the 1001 has a switch. This one doesn't have a switch. So this one, I assume you have a switch that turns the light off and on. Because this is a 12-volt DC here. It comes with a power cable. I've got, very similar to my MFJ meter, I've got that hooked up to power poles. It's just direct 12-volt. Nothing special on that power cable there. So I guess this one, you can turn it off and on, and this one is just on all the time. As soon as you plug it up, it turns on. And the one that has the switch, the 1001, the lower number, for whatever reason, because you would think that's the older one, but I guess not. 1001, 1001, that's the one with the switch. And then the 1010D, this one over here on the left, that's the one that does not have the switch. Okay, these manuals look like they're the same because they list the 1001D, the 1005D, and the 1000 or the 1010D. So the manuals are the same in each of those. All right, so these, probably at least one of these, is going to go in a mystery box because I don't need it. Because it's very similar to the MFJ meter, and I've already got one of those, so I don't need two more of these. Here is a 1002A watt meter. Now, this is similar to my older MFJ meter that I had, and I still have that, although I haven't used it in a long, long time because it's an analog dial rather than a digital dial. But if you like that better, nothing wrong with that. It's got 3 power level settings on it right there. It's got a forward, a reverse, an SWR set, and an SWR. So a little bit more functionality on that one right there. That's the 1002 Alpha. Okay, here's the 1005D. So they gave me one of each one. Power is 1200 watts on this one, and it looks like it's HF only. Yeah, it looks like it's HF only. Frequency is 1.6 to 60 megahertz. It doesn't include the 125 to 525 megahertz that the other ones did, and it handles a larger amount of power, 1200 watts. This other one right here is the 1001, and here's the 1010, and these each handle 200 watts, and then this one handles 1200 watts. So this is the bad boy, obviously. If you want to test out your KPA 500 or your Intellitron 800 to 1000 watt amplifier on HF, that's the one to have. Here's yet another clock. This one, large digital LED clock with remote. Okay then. So this one's got a little bit more on it. It tells you the month, date, the day, like Thursday. It says Thursday. The temperature outside. It's a different configuration. Actually, I guess that's the same amount of information on the screen there, but it's more rectangular than it is long and skinny. So, or more squared than long and skinny rectangular. So there you go right there. And this one has a remote. I don't know what you would use the remote for. Maybe it has a timer on it or an alarm clock of some sort. Here's a big clock right here. Intellitron. This is they have a number, CK for clock, I guess, 0153. This one's larger in size than that first one we looked at. Here's the first one we looked at. So you can see how much larger that is. I think I like this one better, really. I mean, you know, if you're going to hang it high up on the wall and put it in a room that's a larger room that you're going to see it from farther away, then that's pretty cool, I guess. This one is radio controlled, so all it needs is power, and it'll set itself by radio signal. So you've got 2 options for analog looking clocks there. These are the last 4 items in the box they sent me. We've got a lightning arrestor for 50 ohms right here. This is the LA1101. Impedance is 50 ohms. Frequency range is DC to 1000 megahertz. Discharge voltage is 1000 volt direct current. That one right there. And then this one here is the 1105. It is, I don't know, it looks about the same. Can't really tell what the difference between 1101 and 1105 is at first glance. Let's see if we can open that up. There's that. 1101, 1105. Both of them are oh, okay, there we go. So it doesn't say it on the outside. So the 1101 is rated for 400 watts PEP, and the 1105 is rated for 1500 watts PEP right there. So different ratings for different type of arrestors. If all you're using is like your 100, 200 watt radio, no amplifier, then the 1101 would be plenty for you. Or if you're running multiple HF rigs, one at 100 watts and one with an amplifier, you can use one of each. There you go. There's a duplexer there, 500 watts on 1.8 to 35 megahertz, 300 watts on 50 to 540 megahertz, SO239 connections. So this would be great if you wanted to hook 2 radios into one antenna. If you had, say, well, on this side right here, it goes from 160 meters, 1.8 megahertz up to 225 megahertz, and then this one is basically just UHF. For you and I, it'd just be UHF. So if you had say a UHF only radio or a 220 radio and you wanted to put them on the same antenna, something like that, you could use it that way. I've got some of your older radios that were modular might have different boards inside of them for different bands, so you can use that to go to one antenna as well. So those have been around a while. I do have one of those on my FT847 Yaesu. It's not the Intellitron brand, obviously, but I do have a duplexer on that. And the last thing is the dummy load, the DL1501. This thing is great. DC to 500 megahertz, so it'll handle all the way through 440. 15 watt average, 1000 or 100 watt peak. This is great if you want to do some testing, some power testing on the back of your SWR meter, or back of your power meter, but you don't want to hook the power meter to like an external antenna or some other kind of antenna in your ham shack. This is great for that. It's got a SO239 connector on it right there. So good for doing power testing of radios and whatnot in the ham shack. So that's the current That's the current line of Intellitron stuff. Those were the first SKUs. Like I said, they have 60 more SKUs. I know they have ham sticks, they have mag mounts, they have a few other antennas. They actually did send me that 17-foot stainless steel whip, very similar to the MFJ, the Chameleon antenna, and the Alpha antennas whip. So far, the best one out of all 4 of those that I haven't tested the Intellitron one yet, but out of MFJ, Chameleon, and Alpha antennas, I like the Alpha antennas one the best. It's also a little bit longer. It's like 19 feet instead of 17 feet, I think. 19 or 21 feet instead of 17 feet, something like that. But Intellitron's a really cool line of products. Like I said, Steve was on the Ham Radio Happy Hour a couple months ago, and he's like, Intellitron is tools needed for the average ham radio operator that don't break the bank. So they're like a budget-friendly version of different ham radio tools, options, meters, all kinds of good stuff. Keep watching my page. As new items get added to the website, we're going to add them to my page also, and you can always save a 5% discount with the code KC5HWB. And if you shop at Gigaparts, tell them thank you for sponsoring this channel.